to Lonzo's point, she can put out enough healing when you really lock in on heals to be a solo healer or to be one of a duo.
Because it wasn't necessarily in an order here for the main points, but now on the opposite side of support for Black Widow, we got a new character, which is one of the things that we always talk about: support.
Yep.
Jubilee gets added to the team, gets added to the roster. Look, when I tell you that I played her a bit, I like the way she heals, and after a video I saw actually with King Dizzle and understanding her kid a little better, and even a tip I got from Lonzo from a teammate that you and I played with. Lonzo, we play a team on Rivals. Tip, shout out to Mark. He's gonna love that I'm shouting him out right now. Telling me about the bubble burst and her infinite attack to then unleash a bubble and use that infinite ammunition on the bubble to expand the range. And once you get a flow going, she is very versatile. Every healer that we always get in the game when they're introduced is very versatile until some type of rework hits or people start to understand how to get around it to a degree, or it just seems like they just kind of see a nerf. But just talking about her introduction and what you've seen on the field, and or if you've played her, we'll go with Lonzo first, and then Dizzle, and then Wav3y. What do you think? What do you think about Jubilee? Jubilation Lee in Marvel Rivals.
I think for me, Jubilee is great. I like the movement. It's easy to play as her. You don't feel as vulnerable. Like if you get caught in the back line, she kind of, she's fast, so you don't feel like how you feel when you're playing like Mantis. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're playing Mantis, if you don't hit that sleeper thing to get away, you're done. You're out of there. But Jubilee, you can move. You can kind of put the healing thing around you and do what you got to do. So I think it's dope. I think I'm more so tank main Frosty, right? Like I play everything, but when I'm tank, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So for me, if I got a Jubilee on my team and she's locked in, I feel like the heals are fantastic. I don't know if she is there's only a few healers that I think can solo heal. Like if it came down to like a solo heal situation for some odd reason, she may be one of them that could do pretty good. Like her and like maybe, Cloak and Dagger and them. White Fox, I guess, is pretty good. I never played White Fox, but the ones I've seen, she heals really good for tanks. But Jubilee, I like the pairing of Jubilee and Gambit. It's a very good pairing when you got those two as your healers. They both fast, they both got a wide range, and they can fight as well. So you don't really hear Jubilees or Gambits crying from the back lines too often. You know what I mean?
I hear that.
Yep. I mean, she I think is probably the most fun to play with right now in terms of strats. And I'm a strat main. This is what we do. And it does get kind of boring back there for some characters because you're always playing the same positioning. And you're oftentimes punished for getting out of position. And being out of position for a strategist means that you're being a little bit more assertive offensively. You're helping out with the offensive push, and sometimes that's what your team needs. As a strategist, you kind of got to be more like a point guard in basketball too. So you want to set up the offense, right? You're directing and you want to set up the offense, but your scorers are going to do what your scorers are going to do. Your big man's going to do what your big man's going to do, right? It's not necessarily your responsibility always, to score, even though you as the point guard can score. So I liken a lot of strategists, to that strategy. Jubilee has the ability to sort of press on the offensive, engine as well, which adds an element to what she's doing. And to Lonzo's point, she can put out enough healing when you really lock in on heals to be a solo healer or to be one of a duo in terms of healing. And some of the most fun healers to play right now, you can pretty much only play in triple support, or your team only really feels comfortable playing them in triple support. So now you've got a strategist that's fun to play, that can apply offensive pressure, but can also provide main level, main power heals essentially at the end of the day if necessary. So that, that's kind of the biggest thing I find with her is that she's everything that you could need as a strategist. She can be, depending on how you play her. But the one caveat is that she is not easy to use. She is not pick up and play like, oh, just aim at your team and just heal them, you'll be fine. There are layers of her kit. You have to do step 1, then step 2, then step 3, right? But it is worth it because, to your point, Frosty, like once you unleash level 3 of her kit, which is really activating those sparkle beams and being able to provide pretty much a constant stream of healing, high intensity healing, for lack of a better term, I'd put her right up there. But she's not easy to use, and I think that's going to push a lot of the general crowd away from using her in ranked and intense situations.
That's a good comparison too with the that the healer or the strategist is like the point guard in basketball. I've been playing these kind of team shooters a couple of times every now and then, but I never thought of that they were like the point guard and stuff. I know, like, obviously like your DPS or your duelist, they like basically the shooting guard, small forwards or whatever, the scorers and everything, the big man like the power forwards in the centers. But I never thought of the healer as like the point guard of the team, because there's a couple, like if you find a good strategist or a good healer, whatever, they could definitely get some buckets and everything, and they'll definitely get some assists out there, the healers and everything like that. But but they can score if they want to. Like that's how I was doing when I was playing with Mantis. That was my healer or my strategist. When I was playing with Mantis a lot. But she's definitely a light character. So like you get caught, it's all for you. And it's like you better have 2 healers if you have a Mantis on your team. You know what I mean? So the Jubilee is like, I feel like she's not really the same, but kind of is, from what y'all were just saying and everything, and from what I see of people playing her. Like, I was actually wondering how they were going to put her in this game, and how were they going to like make her, you know what I'm saying? Because I read first of all, X-Men comics, there's a lot of X-Men comics, so it's like it's whole hard to keep up with all of them and shit. But I never really knew her powers like that, so I was always kind of wondering like how are they going to incorporate her in this game? Like what is she going to be? A duelist, a strategist? I don't know what she was going to be. So it was surprising to see how they like incorporated her in everything. So.
For sure. Like I think for people that are surface level understanding X-Men, like you think Jubilee is just pyrotechnics, just like, and they even play her a lot in the storylines as like a damsel in distress to a degree. She's never really saving anyone. She's always usually getting into something and being saved, right? But you never think about her as being like someone that will get the whole team out of situation. Like when Logan shows up, when Scott shows up, oh, all right, I'm cool, we about to be saved, But you don't see Jubilee show up and go, I'm saved. You see Jubilee and go, oh man, we about to have to get saved by Logan or Scott or Gene or Bobby, like Iceman or somebody else, but Jubilee.
Yeah. X-Men 97 is doing a good job of like showing this stuff though right now. So I appreciate 97 for that.
Yeah.
I feel like Jubilee is definitely, she's very versatile, but one thing about playing a strat is a lot of people don't understand how important it is for that strat and tank communication as well.
1,000%, yeah.
The strat sees the whole field like a point guard, right? Or a quarterback. But the tank is like the center of the quarterback. So I hear what you're calling out, but they doing something right here. You know what I mean? So you kind of, that communication is very well. And the second strategist is very important, because their job is not necessarily to heal the tank. They're supposed to be making sure the other healer's good. So you heal the other healer while that healer's healing the tank, and y'all can both, if they good, y'all can both just be healing whoever. But when it gets muddy, you gotta heal the other healer. And usually that should be that shouldn't be a Jubilee. Like if you got an Adam Warlock in a Jubilee, Adam should be healing Jubilee. You know what I mean? Doing what they gotta do.
I'm gonna make a comparison real quick. I'm gonna throw a Yu-Gi-Oh reference in here because it's what I know.
Oh.
So there's a monster called the Marauding Captain, level 4 warrior, and when you summon it, you can summon something else, another level 4 or lower warrior to the field. The bottom effect is when another warrior is present. I think it's either one way. When another warrior is present, you cannot attack this monster. Now imagine having 2 of them on the field next to each other. You can't attack this one, and you can't attack this one. So they're literally bouncing off each other. That cuts off a strat. You have to figure out how to attack a person over those two because you can't hit them straight. You got to do something different. So we're talking about holding down the field for these two things as long as they're feeding off of each other. So I think it's like to your point that just brought to my mind, Lonzo.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think if I'm reading you correctly, and I think that is a really important part, that everyone is important. You want to keep everyone alive.